What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new live stream. We've got NFL Week 9 review, Week 10 picks, plus some big trades. I hope everyone had a good week and a good weekend. But let's get right into it. So a lot of trades to go over. So I'll get my screen shared. But the Eagles trade for Ravens cornerback Jaire Alexander for a 2026 sixth-round pick. And yeah, Alexander just hasn't been as good as he used to be. Really good corner for the Packers when he was healthy, but that was when he was healthy. He dealt with a lot of injuries. Injuries suck, so he just doesn't feel like the same guy he used to be. Maybe he'll play better in Philly. I don't know. The Ravens defensive coordinator is an idiot, so that could be part of it, but we'll have to see how he does in Philly. They do play the Packers this week, so he could have a revenge game. But we'll see. Then they made another trade. If I can find it. Let's see. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so they also trade for Miami Dolphins pass rusher Jaelan Phillips for a 2026 third-round pick. It's actually pretty decent value. He's still pretty young. He's a solid edge rusher. He's really good when he's healthy, but he's struggled with, injuries for a while. But I like this trade a lot for Philly. They needed to upgrade or improve the pass rush. I think it'll certainly help with that. Miami's having a fire sale, as they should be. So it'll definitely help the pass rush for Philly. Third-round pick isn't bad. So I think a fresh start is exactly what he needed. So solid trade there. And then Commanders are getting hammered with injuries. Luke McCaffrey broke his collarbone and is most likely done for the season. That sucks. And Marshawn Lattimore is feared to have a torn ACL. So he's most likely done for the year. Probably won't play another game for Washington. The injuries just keep piling on. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft suffered a torn ACL. That really sucks. He was playing phenomenal this year for Green Bay. So that really sucks. That's a big loss for them. And Niners rookie edge rusher Mykel Williams, torn ACL, done for the year. Niners just keep getting hammered with injuries. I mean, what did the Niners do to deserve this? Like, I don't get it, man. Like, the football gods hate the Niners for whatever reason. Offensive tackle Joe Alt will undergo surgery, and he's going to miss the rest of the season. That sucks. That whole line is toast. Could be the reason they missed the playoffs. Let's see. All right, then we get to some of the big trades. The Cowboys trade for Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson. He asked out to be traded. The Bengals defense is worse. I don't know which is worse, the Bengals defense or the Cowboys defense. But I think it'll be a solid addition to the Cowboys defense. I think he's a solid player. So they had to do something. Then the Jaguars trade for Raiders wide receiver Jacoby Myers, especially with the Travis Hunter injury. I think it's a solid, upgrade. He's a good receiver. He's a low end number one, high end number two. So he is a solid target. He wanted out of Vegas because that team's a mess right now, and didn't want to give him an extension, so that's why he wanted out. So I don't blame him for that. And then the Colts, I was shocked by this. I always felt Sauce could get traded, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen. But Sauce is finally free from New York. The Jets trade Sauce Gardner to the Colts for Adonai Mitchell and 2 first-round picks. I like this for both teams. The Colts secondary looks deadly now. Like, it was good before. Now it looks even better. Now you got Sauce, Kenny Moore, Charvarius Ward whenever he comes back. You got Cam Bynum from the Vikings in free agency. That secondary looks really, really good. Like, that secondary is loaded. Then they get Adonai Mitchell and 2 first-round picks out of it. Adonai Mitchell is a very young receiver. There's just too many mouths to feed in Indianapolis when it comes to the receivers, because you got Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce is a solid receiver, Josh Downs is a solid receiver, and he's had some lowlights in there, so I think he'll get a fresh start in New York. It'll be a nice complementary piece next to Garrett Wilson. So it's a win-win trade, for me. And the Seahawks go get Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. I like this for Seattle. He's a very fast receiver. So I think he'll fit nicely next to JSN and Torrey Horton. I know they have Cooper Kupp, but Kupp's kind of in the end of his career. Unfortunately, he just hasn't looked very good. But, they have a really good receiver room. The Bears trade for Joe Tyron. I'm not even going to try and say that. But he's an edge rusher from the Browns, so they upgrade their pass rush. I thought they were going to go get a running back, but apparently not. And then this trade, really good for the Cowboys. They go get Quinnen Williams from the Jets. He's a really good defensive tackle. Had a couple down. These past 2 years haven't been great. That's because, the defensive coaching staff in New York's been an absolute joke. But they get a second-round pick and a first-round pick in exchange for Mozzie Smith. So you're getting a first out of it, which I do like. And, I think it'll help that defense out in terms into getting pressure to the quarterback. But yeah, NFL or Madden already has it updated. So hopefully the rosters get updated soon. And then the Chargers, they traded for Saints offensive lineman Trevor Penning. So they had to get some sort of help on that offensive line. But still just not great. And yeah, Jacoby Brissett is going to remain the starting quarterback in Week 10 for the Cardinals. So I think Kyler Murray is officially done in Arizona because the offense was struggling with him in there. But somehow this offense looks better with Jacoby Brissett in there. So it was clearly a quarterback problem. So the Cardinals are going to have to find a new quarterback because Jacoby Brissett is a backup at best. He's not a starting quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback. I'm sorry, he's just not. I think they should move on from Kyler in the offseason. Just take the best offer you get for him and then probably keep Brissett around as like a bridge starter until you can find a quarterback worth drafting, whether it's in the 2027 draft or 2028 draft. But this year, I just don't think the Cardinals are going to be in position to draft a quarterback. And I just don't think that this quarterback class this year isn't that great. So I don't think there's one worth taking for Arizona. Maybe they can take Nussmeier or Norris Sellers in the second round, but I don't know. Okay, and that's really it. You got your receiving leaders there. Chase is second. JSN's playing really well. I wonder if do they have the passing yards leaders here? Because I haven't seen it yet. Maybe they haven't posted it yet, but oh, here it is. All right, so we got Drake May at 5, 2,285 yards. Then Dax in fourth, Mahomes third, Herbert second, and Daniel Jones is number 1. Okay, so now we can get into the games. There will be no mock draft this week because obviously some picks got traded, so PFF's not going to have it updated right away. So we're just going to have to work with it. But we'll pull up the games, starting off with Thursday Night Football like we always do. Let's get my screen shared again. Starting off the Ravens and Dolphins. The Ravens absolutely destroyed the Dolphins. Lamar came back, played phenomenal. It was his first game in a month. 4 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. He played phenomenal. Derrick Henry, 19 carries for 119 yards. Mark Andrews, man, best game in a while. 2 touchdowns. He played great. Bateman had a touchdown, and Kohler had a touchdown. Malachi Starks got an interception. But yeah, the Ravens, despite the record, they're still favored to win the division because the Steelers' fall off is happening earlier than expected. But Tua, horrible, 25 of 40, 261 yards, and he threw an interception. The Dolphins are cooked. A-Chain, 14 carries for 67 yards. Jalen Waddle led the way in receiving yards. Greg Dulcich had a solid game. And then the defense is horrible. Jalen Phillips got 1 sack. His last game as a Dolphin. Benito Jones with a sack. That's pretty much it. These Thursday night games have not been very good. Okay, and the 49ers beat the Giants by 10 on the road. Mac Jones played solid, 19 of 24, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It looks a lot like 2021 Mac Jones. I don't think it's like a Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones kind of resurgence. Kyle Shanahan's a really good quarterbacks coach. He made the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo as a starting quarterback. So I think Kyle Shanahan can bring the best out of any quarterback. Not hitting on Mac Jones. I like Mac Jones. When, New England traded him, I wish the absolute best for him. And I'm happy that he's finally finding success, somewhere else. McCaffrey, 106 rushing yards and a touchdown. Brian Robinson with a touchdown. McCaffrey also had a receiving touchdown as well. He could win comeback player of the year, to be honest. Juwan Jennings with a touchdown. And then got a couple sacks in there. Yeah, defense extremely banged up with injuries, but they're still above 500. They're 6-3. Rough year for the Giants. Jackson Dart played well, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had a rushing touchdown. Darius Slayton led the way in receiving yards. Theo Johnson and Gunner, however you say that, with a touchdown. Brian Burns with a sack. He's been playing phenomenal. And, this was at MetLife. I like those throwback uniforms the Giants have. I think they look pretty cool. All right, Chargers on the road. Joe Alt goes down with a season-ending injury, like we talked about earlier. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He also had a rushing touchdown. Oronde Gadsden, been their best tight end by far, 68 yards. Quentin Johnston with a touchdown. And then 2 sacks for Odafe Owe, who they got from the Ravens. But yeah, Titans continue to look like the worst team. 145 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks for Cam Ward. Just has no help whatsoever. Pollard was a solid game, 10 carries, 56 yards. I don't see no receiving touchdowns, no rushing touchdowns. I don't know how the hell they scored, but Cody Barton with an interception, with a sack, 2.5 sacks for Jihad Ward. Rough team. DK had a punt return touchdown. Okay. And then Joey Sly had 8 points. All right. But yeah, Titans fall to 1-8. All right, the Steelers beat the Colts. Daniel Jones, a rough game. 31-50, 342 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Worst game of the season so far. 14 carries, 45 yards for Taylor. Alec Pierce went off, 6 catches, 115 yards. Pittman had 115 yards. Geez, they had the same amount of yards. Holy crap. Josh Downs with a touchdown. But man, this is a rough game for the Colts. 2.5 sacks for Latu. Gallimore with, a sack. But man, Steelers, Rodgers, 203 yards and a touchdown. I think they're on a 2-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. This is a big bounce back win for Pittsburgh. Jalen Warren, 2 rushing touchdowns. Freiermuth with a touchdown. Calvin Austin led the way in receiving yards. DK Metcalf did not have a good game. Peyton Wilson with an interception. Joey Porter with an interception. And then Jack Sawyer with an interception. Kyle Duggar played well. Mike Tomlin gave him the game ball, so I was happy to see that. And obviously Chris Boswell with 9 points. Arguably, you can argue that he's the best kicker in the NFL. I think it's between him and Brandon Aubrey. But yeah, then we got the Vikings upset the Lions. This is exactly what I thought the Vikings would look like going into the season. Unfortunately, they've been screwed over with injuries. J.J. McCarthy had a solid game, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Aaron Jones, 9 carries for 78 yards. McCarthy also had a rushing touchdown. Addison with 48 yards. Jefferson with 47 yards and a touchdown. Hawkinson with a touchdown. Yeah, this is exactly how I thought the Vikings would perform, fully healthy. The offensive line was the healthiest it's been all year. Eric Wilson with 2 sacks, Hargrave with a sack. Lions got outcoached. Kevin O'Connell outcoached Dan Campbell. It's a really good Vikings team. I think they're playing the Ravens next week, so that's a rough game. But other than that, they have some winnable games coming up. So there's a chance that they can sneak into the playoffs. 284 yards for Goff with 2 touchdowns. Montgomery with a rushing touchdown. I don't know why Jahmyr Gibbs didn't run the ball more. I don't get that. Amon-Ra, 97 yards. Laporta and Jameson Williams with a touchdown. Derek Barnes and Jack Campbell, both with sacks. Aiden Hutchinson with a sack. Muhammad with a sack. Tyler Lacey with a sack. Lions fall to 5-3. Broncos take down the Texans at the end. Very low scoring game as I expected because you have 2 really good defenses, 2 mediocre offenses. Bo Nix, 18 of 37, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. J.K. Dobbins, 61 yards. R.J. Harvey, 51 yards and a touchdown. Sutton with a touchdown. Zach Allen with a sack. Cooper with a sack. Jerry Greenlaw with a sack. Nick Bonito, no sacks. But they get the field goal at the end there. CJ Stroud went down with an injury. I hope he's all right. 6 for 10, 79 yards. Davis Mills, 17 of 30, under 37 yards. Nick Chubb, 34 rushing yards. Dalton Schultz, 6 catches, 77 yards. Nico with 15 yards. They could only score field goals. A rough game for the Texans. Okay, and oh my goodness. Bears beat the Bengals 47-42. What the okay. Caleb Williams, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also had a receiving touchdown. That's how bad the Bengals the Bengals defense is. Like, holy crap. Like, I'm watching the game, and they just let Colston Loveland just walk right in for a touchdown. Like, what? Like, seriously? Like, the Bengals are the worst defense in the NFL. I know the Cowboys defense exists, but you gave up 47 points to the Bears. What are we doing here? Like, this defense is so bad. I'm sorry. Like, it's terrible. Like, I've never seen a defense this bad in a 2-year span. Like, I've never seen it. Like, look, Joe Flacco, 470 yards, 4 touchdowns, and you still lose. Like, what are we doing? T. Higgins, 2 touchdowns. Chase, 111 yards. Like, you have such an explosive offense. It's being wasted by a horrific defense. You got a couple sacks in there, but that's it. Bengals fall to 3-6. Really nothing else to say. The Panthers upset the Packers. Maybe you don't wear those ugly uniforms. But Bryce Young, solid game, 102 yards, 0 touchdowns, interception. Rico Dowdle carried 25 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. McMillan led the way in receiving yards. The defense played well. Trevor Mooring with an interception. Wharton with a sack. Panthers now 5-4. Jordan Love, 273 yards, and interception. Packers are a weird team. Like, one week they look phenomenal, then they come out and play like this. 87 yards and a touchdown. Romeo Doubs led the way in receiving yards. But yeah, and then the defense, not that great. Micah didn't get any sacks. But yeah. And then Rams destroyed the Saints as expected. Tyler Shock, 176 yards, a touchdown, interception. Taysom Hill, all the way in rushing yards. Rashid Shaheed in his last game as a Saint, 5 catches for 68 yards. Juwan Johnson with a touchdown. There's really nothing much to say about the Saints, honestly. Rams, Stafford played well, 281 yards, 4 touchdowns, still playing phenomenal. 25 carries for Kyren Williams, 114 yards, a touchdown. Puka, 7 catches, 95 yards, a touchdown. 2 touchdowns from Devontae Adams. But yeah, and the defense played well. Emmanuel Forbes with an interception. Oh boy. Braden Fisk with a sack. But yeah, Rams really good. I could see them making the Super Bowl. And then one of the craziest games of Sunday, Jaguars Raiders goes to overtime, and the first half it was like 6-3, and then the second half both teams kind of just exploded. Trevor Lawrence 220 yards, 0 touchdowns, interception. Travis Hunter 84 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence. Parker Washington led the way in receiving yards, 90 yards. Brian Thomas 55 yards. Monteric Brown with an interception. Trying to see Devin Lloyd. Did Devin Lloyd play at all? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. But Geno Smith, 284 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. They should have just took the extra point. They decided to go for the win, go for 2 on the win, and the pass he goes to pass it to Tyler Lockett instead of Brock Bowers. And a Jaguars defensive tackle blocks it, and the game's over. That's how they lost. 13 carries, 42 yards, Ashton Genty. Brock Bowers played phenomenal. 12 catches, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was phenomenal. And then they had an interception on defense. Max Crosby with a sack. He's still stuck there in Vegas, so that stinks. All right, and then the Bills beat the Chiefs at home. They thoroughly outplayed the Chiefs. It was 28-13 at one point. I've been saying the Chiefs are cooked. They're washed. They're not back. I've been saying it. But all people want to do is glaze Mahomes. 15 of 34, 250 yards, and an interception. He did not play well in this game. Kareem Hunt led the way in rushing yards. Rashee Rice, 4 catches, 80 yards. The defense played well. A sack from Trent McDuffie. But Josh Allen played really well. 273 yards and a touchdown. Only had 3 incompletions. James Cook, 27 carries, 114 yards. Josh Allen with 2 rushing touchdowns. Dalton Kincaid with a touchdown. And a sack from Joey Bosa and Christian Benford. But yeah, the Bills improved to 6-2. You got to be kidding me. But yeah, Chiefs, dark magic has run out. They're now 5-4. They're way behind the Broncos. Broncos are what, 7-2? Or yeah, I think they're 7-2. But yeah, Chiefs fall to 5-4. Bills improve 6-2. They are one game behind the Patriots for the division. Yeah. And speaking of the Patriots, by far the most frustrating game of the day, at least in my opinion. Patriots hold on by one. Classic Falcons loss. The Patriots looked red hot in the first half. They're up 21-7 at one point. And then the defense starts to collapse. Michael Penix looks like prime Michael Vick. Oh my God. As I was saying, they made Michael Penix look like prime Michael Vick. 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They held Bijan to under 50 rushing yards, so that streak stays alive. Oh my God. Drake London played phenomenal. I mean, he was cooking us left and right. He looked like prime Julio Jones out there. 9 catches, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. This guy is so underrated. He gets way less credit than he deserves. AJ Terrell played well. The defense played really well. Jalen Walker, 2 sacks. He had a strip sack on Drake May, and then James Pierce picked it up, took it all the way to the goal line. Will Campbell tackled him down. Thank goodness. But yeah, that was a disaster. Yeah, it's probably the best, the defense has looked so far. Drake May had his worst game of the season, in my opinion. He had 10 incompletions, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. No Ramondre Stevenson for this game. Not shut the fuck up. Holy shit. Sorry about that. Trayvon, 14 carries, 55 yards. Oh my God. Okay. He threw an egregious interception to Jesse Bates. He was throwing to Stephon Diggs in double coverage. Jesse Bates grabbed it low to the ground. And that screwed them over there. But Trayvon, the game plan was to, get the run game going because the Falcons apparently have like the number 1 ranked pass defense. But their run defense isn't very good. So they wanted to get the run game going. Trayvon, best game as a Patriot, 14 carries, 55 yards. Terrell Jennings with a rushing touchdown. Demario Douglas led the way in receiving yards, 4 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Hunter Henry played really well. Diggs had a touchdown. And Austin Hooper, who was on that Falcons team that lost the Super Bowl in overtime, had a catch for 20 yards. Matt Collins played, well, he didn't really do much, but Christian Gonzalez went down with a head injury. Hope he's all right. Kalavion Chasen with a sack. But yeah, the defense did not play that well. Afton Chisholm with 3 returns. Marcus Jones, 2 punt returns. Andy Borregales put up 6 points. And Falcons had a chance to tie the game, set it into overtime, And John Parker Rome, who was on the Patriots roster before the season started, missed the extra point. So the Falcons had a chance to get down the field and kick a game-winning field goal. Raheem Morris elected not to go for it on fourth down, and the Patriots were able to ice the game after the 2-minute warning and burn out the clock. But yeah, this is the most classic Falcons loss ever. But yeah, very frustrating game. But at the end of the day, a win's a win. Okay, and then this game was a disaster. Sam Darnold had 4 touchdowns in the first half and 0 incompletions. The score was 28-0 at halftime, or at one point. It was like 31-7 at halftime. The Seahawks dominated this game. Kenneth Walker, 11 carries, 42 yards. Torrey Horton had 2 touchdowns. Cody White with a touchdown. And Elijah Aroro had a touchdown. Like, this game was ridiculous. Leonard Williams with a sack. Caught it with an interception. But yeah, Seahawks thoroughly dominated this game. Both teams wearing throwback uniforms. Jaden Daniels, 16 of 22, 153 yards, 0 touchdowns and interception. He goes down with a gruesome injury. A lot of people are comparing it to the RG3 injury. I hope he doesn't end up like that, but man, he shouldn't have been in the game to begin with. The game was already over. He should have been pulled. I hate it when coaches do that. It just pisses me off. 10 carries, 51 yards, and a rushing touchdown. But yeah, the Commanders are cooked. They're not making the playoffs. When Treylon Burks is getting snaps, you know it's over. Man, I feel bad for Commanders fans. Just injuries keep piling on. Jaden Daniels most likely done for the year. I wouldn't bring back McLaurin either because why risk, making his quad injury worse and having a miss time into next season. So they should have lost some players at the deadline. They didn't. And they don't have that many picks this year, so it's going to be really hard to fix the roster. But at least you have a franchise quarterback. Feel bad for Jaden Daniels, man. Just rough way to go out, man. And then the Cardinals destroy the Cowboys with Jacoby Brissett in at quarterback. This Cowboys is awful. Jacoby Brissett, 21 of 31, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is probably the best game I've ever seen him play. Imari DiMicardo, I don't know how to say that. 14 carries, 79 yards. Brissett with a rushing touchdown as well. Are you kidding me? Marvin Harrison Jr., 6 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Trey McBride with a touchdown. His offense looks so much better without Kyler. Denzel Burke with an interception. Walter Nolan with a sack, finally played. Calais Campbell with 2 sacks, old reliable there. 2 sacks for Josh Sweat. Yeah, they finally snap a 5-game losing streak. So yeah, good win for the Cardinals. Cowboys, Dak, 24, 39, 250 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Javonte Williams didn't play that great. 15 carries, 83 yards. CeeDee Lamb led the way in receiving yards. Whoever this is got a touchdown. George Pickens was 79 yards. Defense is not good. Kenny Clark with a sack. Clowney with a sack. Reddy Stewart and Dante Fowler with a sack. Ezra Raku with a sack. But yeah, that wraps up week 9. Let's get into the predictions. Just gotta go to NFL playoff predictions. Get out of here, bro. All right. Starting off with Thursday Night Football, as we always do, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. They're wearing the throwback uniforms. Say 24-16. Raiders. Don't know why it's showing my email, but whatever. Then we have another international game. I hate these international games. They're so stupid. But we got the Colts taking on the Falcons in Germany. I can see the Falcons winning, but I am going to take the Colts to win. Falcons do have a good pass defense, so I could see it low scoring. But we'll say 20-23. Then we got the Texans versus the Jaguars. Depends on if CJ Stroud's playing or not. It's in Houston. Jaguars did win the last one. But I'll probably change it if CJ Stroud isn't playing. But if he is, I think the Texans should win. They probably should have won the last time. But turnovers screwed them over. But Texans have a really good defense and they're at home. So I am going to go with the Texans for now. Then we have the Browns versus the Jets. I think both teams are coming off a bye. Jets just traded away a bunch of players. Browns really didn't do much. They traded like one player. So I'm going to go with the Browns. They have the better defense, in my opinion. Better quarterback as well. I think Shedeur should be playing, but he's probably not going to. But, Justin Fields just isn't good. Then we have the Dolphins versus the Bills. Bills should destroy the Dolphins. To like 35-9. Bills just far superior team. Got Ravens versus the Vikings, the battle of the purple teams. Give me the Ravens to win. I like 28-21. Vikings probably hang around for a bit, but Ravens should win it. And then we got the Bears versus the Giants. Give me the Bears. It's at Soldier Field. By 31-17, around that range. And then we got Carolina versus New Orleans. Give me the Panthers. It is a division game, so you never really know. But that'll be my score prediction. Then we got Seahawks versus Cardinals. Seahawks are at home this time. Give me the Seahawks. Cardinals can make it competitive, but Seahawks have pretty much owned them. Then we got Rams versus 49ers, a rematch a couple of weeks ago. I think the Rams win it this time. I think it'll be close because it's in division, but that's what I'm going with. Then we got the Lions versus the Commanders. Lions should destroy the Commanders, given the injuries that they're dealing with. Then we got the Bucks versus the Patriots. We got the Tom Brady Bowl. CBS's A team is going to be on call for this one, so Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. Now, I'm going to make it very clear. I think the Buccaneers will win this game, but I'm going for it. I'm going for the upset. I'm going to go with the Patriots to win this game. I think it's going to be a really good, fun game. I think there's a good chance that the Patriots can pull off an upset. They haven't lost on the road yet. My expectation is that the Bucks win, but I feel pretty good. I'm going for it. I'm going for the upset. That's my upset of the week. And then Sunday Night Football, we got Chargers hosting the Steelers. I would go Chargers, but that offensive line looks so bad right now. And the Steelers are coming off their best defensive performance of the season. So I am going to go the Steelers. Probably like 24-21. I think Herbert is going to be under constant pressure. So I will take the Steelers to win. And then we got Monday Night Football, Packers versus the Eagles. Jair Alexander returns to Green Bay. Eagles got a bunch of new players, but I'm going to go with the Packers to win. Micah Parsons going after Jalen Hurts. Should be fun. But, yeah. That is my week 10 predictions. We'll go over some NBA games, but let's see, NBA. Go over NBA, and then that'll wrap it up. Okay. Sixers barely beat Wizards. The Bucks beat the Knicks Knicks have kind of been underwhelming, to be honest. But they haven't been, healthy. So Brunson with 36, 24 from Bridges. Giannis with 37, 25 from Ryan Rollins. Yeah, Bucks look pretty solid. They're 3-1 here. And then low scoring game. Warriors beat the Clippers 98-79. Kawhi with 18. He hasn't looked very good, to be honest. 20 points from Harden. Chris Paul barely played. Warriors. Kuminga's been playing really well so far. Steph with 19. Jimmy Butler with 21. Al Horford, 20 minutes, 2 points. Yeah, Al Horford looks washed. Okay. Then Orlando got destroyed by Detroit. The Magic are by far the most disappointing team so far. Hate to say it. There's plenty of time to get things turned around, but the offense just hasn't been clicking. Wagner looks like their best player right now. Desmond Bane, only 12 points. 24 points, 22 from Wagner. But, man, Magic has just been really frustrating. Cade played phenomenal, 30 points, 10 assists. Jalen Duren's criminally underrated, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 12 points for Asar, 11 rebounds. Jesus. Yeah, Pistons are a lot better than people give them credit for. All right, and then somehow the Celtics blow out the Cavs by 20. Now, I think this is more of the Cavs dealing with injuries than the Celtics actually playing good. Evan Mobley, 19 points, 11 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell, you only put up 15 points against a terrible defense. Are you kidding me? Like, dude. Yeah, obviously they don't have Garland, Max Strus. Okay, they did have DeAndre Hunter in this game. Yeah, I think once the Cavs are healthy, they'll be really good. They're just dealing with, injuries right now. Derek White, 19. Jaylen Brown puts up 30. Josh Minot played phenomenal. 14 boards, 11 points. He's earned that spot in the starting five. So yeah, there's really nothing much Celtics can do at the moment. But yeah. Okay, Mavericks beat the Pacers by 2. Somebody were saying they should trade Siakam. I don't agree. Jarris Walker put up 20 points, 27 from Siakam. But yeah, the front court just hasn't been good. They don't even have a point guard right now. Cooper Flag, 15 points, 10 rebounds. They don't have a point guard. Well, they have D'Angelo Russell, but he hasn't been very good. But yeah, feel bad for the Pacers, man. Pelicans are a joke. They still don't have a win. Blazers barely beat the Jazz by 2. Blazers are a solid team. Drew Holiday's been pretty good, 27 points. Shaedon Sharp's been really good, 18 points, 17 from Kamara, 19 from Avia. It's probably the best Blazers starting five in years, like years. Like they actually have a nice rebuild going on, and they're going to get Lillard back next year. So he's probably going to play with the best Blazers starting five like ever. 29 points from Keontae George, playing really well. Lauri Markins raised his trade value, 32 points. But yeah, pretty entertaining game. And then Lakers barely beat the Wolves. Wolves had their throwback uniforms. I love those. Austin Reeves put up 28 points, 27 from Jake LaRavia. Nick Smith Jr., who they picked up in free agency, has been solid. Obviously, no Anthony Edwards for a bit. 30 points from McDaniels, 33 from Randall, 14 from DiVincenzo. But yeah, Wolves need a point guard because Mike Conley's old. DiVincenzo's more of a shooting guard. And, Robert Dillingham just isn't good enough right now. Grizzlies beat the Suns. Ja with 28, 18 from Jaren Jackson. Suns are a fun, bad team, if that makes sense. Booker 32. I don't even think Jalen Green's played yet. No, he hasn't. All right, Orlando finally gets a win. Spurs go to 5-0. The Spurs have been really good. Wemby's playing phenomenal. Bam put up 31. 24 for Wiggins. Wemby's been phenomenal. I mean, 18 rebounds, 27 points. He's putting up absurd stats. But yeah, the Spurs look pretty solid. I think they'll make the playoffs. And then Celtics barely beat Philly in the NBA Cup tournament, which I still don't like. It's still stupid. Brown put up 32, 15 from Pritchard, 16 from White. Simons put up 19 off the bench. Sam Hauser was like 1 of 5 from 3 at one point. Embiid with 20 points for Maxey. But yeah, Celtics get back at Philly for opening night. And then the Cavs lose to the Raptors, which I don't think the Raptors are a good team, or sorry, a bad team. I just think they're a solid team. I think they can make the playoffs in a wide open East. 20 points for Ingram, 14 from Barnes. They had Colin Murray Boyle starting at center. What are we doing? No Donovan Mitchell in this game. Okay. And Evan Mobley's right there. So yeah, Cavs were without some key players. So that definitely plays a factor in this. But, Cavs have been screwed over by injuries. And then the Knicks lose to the Bulls by 10 points. I don't know what's going on with the Bulls. They should not be playing this good because they're a team that's trying to tank for a top pick. So I don't get what they're doing. But entire starting five, except for Mitchell Robinson, scored 20 plus, and they still lost. Like, my goodness. Josh Giddey put up 32 points. He's been playing really well. He might win most improved. 26 from Vucevic. His trade value is going up. 22 from Dosunmu off the bench. That's yeah. Lakers beat the Grizzlies. Blazers beat the Nuggets by 2. Kings beat the Bucks by 2. Magic destroy the Wizards as they should. And Rockets destroy the Celtics as expected. Pistons beat the Mavericks. Cavs beat the Hawks pretty confidently. Knicks get back at the Bulls. They give them their first loss. Lakers beat the Heat by 10. Suns beat the Spurs. I hate this fucking laptop. Battery life doesn't last at all. And these are last night's games. Rockets beat the Mavericks. Lakers beat the Blazers. And in this game, I mean, the Celtics defense is terrible. They allowed 38 points in the third quarter. What are we doing? They were up by 10 at halftime. You allowed 38 points in the third quarter. What the frick? And then apparently got confirmed that it was a bad call earlier today, that offensive foul on Jaylen Brown. They said that call was incorrect. Doesn't matter now. Game's over. It's a day later. So what was the point of even announcing that? Brown put up 36 points. He's been playing good, but he has no help whatsoever. Derek White, 10 points. That's the best you can do. Pritchard, 18 points. 15 points from Simons. This right here proves that Jason Tatum's the best player on this team. Okay? Like, I'm sick and tired of the dumb narrative of like, oh, Jaylen Brown's their best player. Like, no, like, I'm sick and tired of the Jason Tatum disrespect. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. But here are some games today. Hopefully Orlando wins, but that's going to do it for the live stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the Sportsville tonight. Peace out.